and that should be the highlight of the day when you're well, not having such a good time or having a great time, right? It doesn't really matter. You still need to go to the gym and get the job done because, well, why are you here otherwise watching all of my drug videos? Next, you need to be able to keep track of your progress. You can do that by keeping a training log or using one of those training applications that are now riddled on the App Store, right? Whatever you prefer, whether that's a manual in a logbook or using one of those training apps, that's entirely up to you. At least in the first couple of years, I did the same thing with a logbook. We didn't have those apps. Back in the day, I started training 25 years ago, so we did it manually in a notebook. But now with those training apps, you can keep track of your training progress very, very, very easily. In the beginning, you still need to do that. Maybe as you get more experience and you follow progressive overload and you base off memory, you know exactly what you can take during that workout session, right? Volume and training and intensity-wise. Then you don't really need to do that. Or you need to handicap yourself by not doing the logbook because otherwise you're just going to tear yourself apart. All right, keep track of your body weight. Now, keeping track of your body weight is reasonably straightforward. You can do that with a body weight scale, but why use a regular body weight scale when you can go with a next level body weight scale that also checks your body fat percentage, your muscle mass, and keeps track of other parameters, which you can then keep track on your phone with an application by RENPHO. So the one I use is the RENPHO bodyweight scale with a boatload of different functions. And again, through Bluetooth, it connects to your phone. So let me give you a live demonstration. So I've got the RENPHO bodyweight scale off camera down below. I'll show you on the app, the RENPHO app that comes along with this bodyweight scale, what happens as soon as I step on it. So you can see that it starts measuring. And then automatically, with time, it gives you all of the measurements on your app, which you can store for later use and keep track of the trends of your body weight increase or your body weight reduction, regarding your body fat percentage, regarding your body mass index. In this sense, it's very, very convenient. Instead of writing everything down manually, you just use the app to keep track of all of the changes that are happening to your body weight and everything that's related to it. So I'll put my body composition measurements of the RENPHO app on the screen right now. And you might notice that my body weight is 110 kilos. Again, we're around 6 o'clock in the evening, so I'm a little bit heavier than what I usually am in the morning. Usually I'm about 107 kilos upon waking. My body mass index is 36, and my body fat percentage is 22. Now, unfortunately, with this body weight scale, measuring the body fat levels, it might be a little bit off if you're a bodybuilder. This is a known issue for bodybuilders or men with very large muscle mass and overall high body mass index. The body fat percentage might be a little bit off. So if you're a smaller individual, let's say a normal body composition and normal body weight for your height, then it's a lot more accurate. But for bodybuilders or strongmen or powerlifters, which are, well, larger and in charger than life, the body fat percentage might be significantly higher than it actually is. I think that I'm about 8% body fat. On the in-body test, I'm about 8 to 10%. And with a DEXA scan, I'll probably be 12%. But visually, I look about 8 to 10% body fat, depending on the time of the day and the amount of water retention that I have. Now, still, you can keep track of your body fat percentage as long as it's going down. You don't see any changes to your body weight and overall a skeletal muscle or fat-free mass. Then obviously you know that you're making progress while you're undergoing a cutting phase. Just make sure that when you fill out your personal information in the RENPHO application, that you set your height and you set it to athlete's mode, which will give you a more accurate representation of your body fat percentage, your visceral fat, your body mass, and your overall body composition that you can now keep track of again with this application. It's very, very convenient. It might not be the most accurate way to keep track of everything. Of course, the body weight is going to be accurate, but some of the percentages regarding your fat-free mass, your body fat percentage, your visceral fat might be slightly off. Still, if you're keeping track of that over longer periods of time, you can see a clear trend shift up or down, and then make the appropriate adjustments regarding your training, your nutrition, your supplementation, or your ancillaries and performance-enhancing drugs. Keep track of your blood glucose levels, but we'll address that in the ancillary and performance-enhancing drugs segment of this lifestyle video series. And keep track of your measurements by tracking the size of your neck, your biceps, your waist, your arms, your chest, your everything, right? Because it's very difficult to see how much progress you're making from day to day. Even if you take weekly progress pictures, even if you do a caliper test, it's good to track the measurements of your body parts. Now, personally, to be fair, up until now, I've never really kept track of my body parts measurements until RENPHO sent me their Smart Tape Measure Plus, which is a digital tape measuring device that also sends the data to the app on your phone. So this way you can keep track of the trends of your neck, your torso, your chest, your waist, your arms, your legs, your calves, and everything else that you would like to measure. So that's very convenient. I wish I was doing this sooner. So I can show you the details on the screen of all of the measurements which I took today. Basically, my biceps, my arms are around 49 to 50 centimeters. My quads are about 69 to 70 centimeters. And my waist, or at least at the abdomen, is 82 centimeters. And I'll convert that to inches for the guys who are interested in that. My calves are about, let's say, 45 centimeters, but a little bit of discrepancy between both sides. So I'll give you a little bit of a demonstration. And then we'll do the neck because that's the easiest to do on camera. Okay, so right now it's 44 and a half centimeters. Hopefully you can see that. Then we'll pull this out. There we go. It already automatically turns on. You put this back in. This goes over the head. You can see here on the app that it keeps track. You press the button here, bring that down to your neck, and then press save. All right. And now you should be able to go to the next measurement, but I'll save that for off-camera time. So now my neck increased by a whole centimeter to 45 and a half centimeters. So this way you can just simply keep track of all of your body measurements over time. I would do it once per week, just like you would keep track of your body weight, basically once per week, to see if there's a trend up or down. Hopefully over time, your neck will stay the exact same size, right? We do bodybuilding from the neck downwards, trying to keep the face and the neck intact. Not too much of a thick neck, but we want our biceps to grow. I might as well measure my left bicep, which is bigger than my right bicep. All right, so let me try to give you a live demonstration of measuring my arms while holding the application so you can see how the magic is happening as I'm measuring it. Goes right through, holding the phone, flexing the bicep, trying to adjust the best way I can. And I think that's fair. All right, flexing. Let's see. Yeah, that's about right. 48.6 centimeters. That's a little bit shorter than before, but I think if I do this off camera without me trying to hold the phone, my biceps would be a little bit bigger. And obviously, if I get myself a pump, if I check this post-workout, then my arms would be significantly better. Again, this is a very convenient way to keep track of your body part measurements using the RENPHO Smart Tape Measure Plus. If you're interested, you can find the Amazon links down below in the YouTube description section. And I get it, when you do this day in, day out, years upon years on end, it might be hard to really see the difference from a day-to-day basis. But of course, if you take your pictures, you keep track of your body weight and your measurements, you can see a clear trend line in the progression that you're making. Just keep in mind that training is cyclical, right? You might get injured at one point in time. You might go on holiday. You might stop your cycle. You might have to undergo caloric restriction to get the body fat levels off. And that means you're going to shrink. So you might lose motivation, which honestly sounds appalling to me. I'm always motivated to go to the gym and have a good workout. I mean, did you see me stop working out when I came off cycle and I reduced my calories to 2,400 calories per day to stay lean, dropping down to 92 kilos, sub 200 pounds? I still went to the gym 4 times a week. I still did my daily fasted cardio because I love it. I love it. Doesn't matter if I'm big, I'm small, I'm lean, I'm fat. I still go to the gym. And hopefully you can find the inspiration and the motivation somewhere deep down inside to always go to the gym, right? You don't need a heartbreak. You don't need to be on cycle. You don't need to eat a boatload of food. You can do all of the gymming and the daily fasted cardio even when you're miserable because you're spending time on yourself, and that should be the highlight of the day when you're, not having such a good time or having a great time, right? It doesn't really matter. You still need to go to the gym and get the job done because, why are you here otherwise watching all of my drug videos? So you better fall in love with the process and enjoy the roller coaster because your body is going to be extremely dynamic, undergoing a multitude of different phases, big, small, lean, fat. It's all part of the process, and especially if you're undergoing a post-cycle therapy after years of performance-enhancing drug use, right, to get your wife pregnant, or to come off cycle because you need to resolve a medical condition. During post-cycle therapy, that's where the winners from the losers are determined. And the guys that still go to the gym during post-cycle therapy and afterwards, when they're relying on their natural testosterone production and they're skinny and weak and frail and emotionally compromised from low testosterone and elevated estrogen levels or selective estrogen receptor modulators signaling for estrogen-like effects in the brain, those guys persist. And then when they go back on cycle, right, maybe in the future, after they get all of their medical things out of the way, those guys will still make phenomenal gains and they enjoyed themselves even while off the juice. And look at it this way. Remember the lockdowns when you couldn't go to the gym? If you've ever broken bones and you couldn't go to the gym, or you had your gyno removed and you couldn't go to the gym, or for whatever reason, you didn't have the money to go to the gym for a certain period of time, or you couldn't afford the protein or the PEDs and you decided to throw in the towel for 6 months and focus on finances, remember the hole that was left behind? Remember how miserable you felt when you couldn't go to the gym when you wanted to, but were forced not to go from a pandemic or broken bones or surgery or financial issues? Hold that thought. Hold that thought for the days when you don't feel like going, but you can go. Really? Really? Remember the days that you couldn't go to the gym and now you don't feel like going for whatever reason because you're busy or tired or have anxiety to beat the logbook? Yeah. Go to the fucking gym, you fucking lazy piece of shit. Because it's a privilege. It's fun. It's enjoyable, even when you don't feel so good. Once the workout is done, you'll feel absolutely amazing that you did go to the gym. All right. Food for thought. Hopefully this video isn't too long. Hopefully it can inspire some of you guys to do your daily fasted cardio and change your workout modalities to the point you don't get injured and make phenomenal gains. Right? The internet is riddled with exercises and training modalities and volume management and training apps that you can choose from. I figured it out for myself a long time ago, but hopefully you can figure it out for yourself as well. And once you get the training locked in, then you can focus on the nutrition and the supplementation, which we'll get into soon. And first we'll have to address the nutrition and then the supplementation, and then maybe later on, the performance-enhancing drugs. I already made a very lengthy deep dive video series about deep sleep. I'll link that down below in case you're interested, because, well, deep sleep improves recovery substantially. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find everything that I'm associated with down below in the YouTube description section. Follow me on Instagram at VigorSteve, Vigorous Crew. You guys know what to do. A front double bicep for you guys, juicy as hell, because I know how to train. And I've been doing so for 25 years. Yes, that helps.